everybody, it's the interview queen, Alicia Atout here, and I am very excited to have Quinn McKay on the show. Hi!
Hi! How are you?
I'm well, how are you?
I'm good. I'm getting better. 5 days sick, finally on antibiotics, so finally getting somewhere with that.
Right, both of us have been so sick, and that's why I was really glad to be catching up with you, because last time we were both doing really rough, so I'm glad we're better now. It's going to be fun. I'm really happy to have you on here.
I'm so happy to be on. I'm glad that you asked me.
Of course. Well, the first thing I need to bring up, because I absolutely loved seeing this, was the fact that you just love punk rock, alternative music, like you're a concert goer, and
Yeah.
I am the same way. So in 2019, since it kind of just came to a close, were you able to see a lot of shows?
I wasn't able to see a lot of shows because, so I was new to Baltimore this year, and at first it was like I know there's Soundstage and there's all the arenas and stuff like that, but I didn't really know where to go to see people that were touring. What I really love to do is see local music, and it's been so hard to find a local music venue in Baltimore. I don't know if I'm just looking in the wrong places or if I just don't have my finger on the pulse here for it legitimately doesn't exist. There's no local music scene here. It's so weird. You go to bars and there's not live music playing. Yeah. But I did get to see the Wonder Years, which I always love to do. So that was cool.
Yeah, I saw your stories there, and I just thought you looked like you were having an absolute blast, which is awesome.
The Wonder Years is my favorite band in the world, all-time favorite band.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Who else is kind of up there with them? I won't ask for a top three necessarily because it's hard, but if you were to throw some names out there.
So I've been listening to a lot of Water Parks recently.
Nice.
Yeah, they just released Fandom, and that's the one album that I've been playing on repeat recently. And then the Wonder Years, I really, really love the State Champs. State Champs is God, cool. State Champs, Neck Deep. I'm just a pop punk kid, basically, is what I'm saying. I'm a 28-year-old pop punk kid. No shame. Whatever. It's fine.
I knew you liked Water Parks because they tweeted me a little bit back and forth, and I saw you like one of the replies, and
oh, yeah.
she is totally a pop punk kid. I love it.
I love Water Parks. There's so they can say the angstiest stuff and still have the most bubblegum pop beat, and it's hilarious. I love it. I just love it.
What would you say is the best gig you've ever been to? Is it a Wonder Years one?
The best show I've ever been to. When I was in high school, I went and I saw The Used at the Blue Note in Columbia, Missouri, which is a really small venue. Yeah, and I think The Used probably put on the best live show that I've ever seen.
I've seen them maybe 7 or 8 times, and the first time I saw them, I was 12 maybe, and they are hands down one of the best live bands I've ever witnessed. They're so good.
Absolutely, I 100% agree. So that one, definitely.
Good choice. Now, you're welcome. I was really psyched to have a fellow interviewer and host on the show because that doesn't happen too frequently. No. So, of course, I'm now doing stuff with MLW. You're with ROH. So tell me how things fell into play and how you ended up doing stuff backstage with Riccaboni.
So I went to a Jonathan Gresham seminar because I started out as an independent wrestler, and I only had 2 or 3 matches, and I went to a Jonathan Gresham seminar, and he invited me to the dojo. And then after I've been at the dojo for a couple of months, they started talking about doing their first developmental program, and they signed 5 of us to developmental deals. And then they found out that I have a degree in PR and that I'd done 3 years in broadcast, and they're like, well, we really need a backstage interviewer. So we want to try you out. And I think it went over a lot better than anybody expected. I don't think that the role that I have now is necessarily what they had envisioned, but happy accidents. So,
well, you mentioned the role there, and when I do my interviews, I'm pretty much shooting the breeze as if I were now. I come in as Alicia Atout, and I dress how I would normally dress. Now, it's a little bit of a different scenario for you with the glasses, the bow tie. It's a different persona. So how did that all come into play?
Well, the glasses I actually really need to see. I have them right here, but they have a horrible glare if I wear them on camera. So I didn't wear them. But with the bow tie and stuff like that, that was a suggestion. I have really broad shoulders, and I've got really muscular shoulders. And so I think first and foremost, the goal was to cover me up as much as possible so that I would look
never even thought that.
Yeah. So like I like round my shoulders a lot whenever I'm on camera. And the bow tie was like more of a rebellious thing because it was like, well, I'm wearing these button ups. Like I can't really show a lot of personality. Let me see if I can like sneak something in that they're not going to like really tell me. Like it looks like part of the get up. It looks like part of the gimmick.
Yeah.
But they never said anything about the bow ties. So I just kind of kept wearing them and they caught on. So now I'm just kind of married to them, I guess.
Yeah, there's definitely no getting rid of that. I think people associate you first it's like ROH and then it's bow ties. So
bow ties, yeah. I didn't think that like that was going to be my legacy, but I suppose it could be a lot worse.
Well, I knew that you had wrestled prior because you often post throwback pictures, and I have to say that teal hair was bomb. Like you look so good with it. So do you miss it certain days?
Oh my God, yeah, I miss it all the time. I had my hair had been blue for like 3 years at that point. Like I kept it blue for a really long time. And I would say that I have spent probably the majority of like my adolescent and adult life with blue hair at some point. Like it's blue more often than it is like brunette or blonde or anything like that. I miss it all the time. I loved it. Like I still have all of my blue hair extensions just in case I ever get to go back to it. Yeah, I just have them all in a basket right over there.
I mean, it could come in hand because I'm sure when you're watching these matches live, you're backstage and part of you, like, it's amazing what we do. It's so fun. But part of you's like, ooh, I'd like to kick some ass once in a while. So does that hit you once in a while?
Yeah, sometimes it's like way worse than other times, you know? Like sometimes I'm like, okay, I love this. I'm not sacrificing my body as much anymore and I'm still in the industry that I love. And then other times there's really nothing quite like wrestling in front of a crowd. There's really not. So that gets to you.
Do you think it's out of the picture for a while or do you think you might revisit it?
I don't know. I'd like to say that I'd make a return to in-ring action. I've had some like injuries, especially in 2019 that were pretty bad. Just from like training and stuff like that. And I have a bunch of injuries left over from roller derby. So like my body's already, because I played derby for 8 years, so my body's taken such a beating already, like all throughout my 20s. I'd really love to return to the ring one day. I just don't know if it's in the cards.
Of course. Well, tell me a little bit about derby because whenever I see that, like I've never been to it live, but I want to really badly because I know it's something I could never do. Like I'm a complete baby. So seeing a woman in there just like going crazy. It must be like, it must feel so empowering and fun.
No, it was. And it was actually wrestling that inspired me to get into roller derby because I've always idolized Beth Phoenix. And she was like the first woman to show me that you can be like strong and also like feminine and beautiful at the same time and just like really like do whatever you want. So that's why I did roller derby in college. Like she inspired me to do that, which is really cool. And then, but yeah, like, so I was a jammer, which is the point scorer, which means that I got hit most. So do you know like the rules, right? Do you know the rules of roller derby at all?
Not really, no.
So like in a nutshell, there's a jammer and 4 blockers for each team on the track at the same time. So there'll be 8 blockers, 4 for each team, and then 2 jammers. Jammer's the point scorer. So a jammer scores a point for every opposing blocker that she passes. So their job is to make sure that you don't pass them and get their point.
So I imagine you just there like.
Yeah, no, it's really violent. And I've always, I had this really fun, unique style where I was like just as light-footed as I was strong. So I was kind of, I was quite the competitor. I was pretty good. I'll say that.
I like envisioning this.
I think all the time about like, because there's a roller derby team in Baltimore, it's Charm City. And I think they're about to have open recruitment. And I'm always like, man, I could just get my skates and I could go to open recruitment and I could just like smoke these kids. And then I'm like, calm down. You're retired. You do something else now. You've got a full-time job. Leave it alone.
Oh my gosh. Who knows? Maybe one day you can show them up. Maybe. Well, it's been really neat to see you grow your fan base, the quintessentials. So I was wondering, just to wrap things up, is there anything you would like to say to all of your fans who are going to be checking this out?
Yeah. I'm really gonna do that baking thing on YouTube. I swear, you can see like all of my baking stuff back there. But then I got the flu and couldn't do anything for a week. But it's coming together, I swear. And thank you, just in general. You're all great.
I want to say thank you so very much for catching up. I really hope that our paths get to cross in person sooner than later again, and just keep kicking ass. And thank you for chilling.
Thank you, Alicia.
Of course. Enjoy your day flu-free.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye.